Assalamu alaikum. Hi friends, how are you? Today we are going to start a trip, a journey that will take us to the deepness, to the deep sides of ocean of Quran. Many people know many miracles about Quran, but in this century, any door is opened for the deep sides of miracles of Quran that are especially related to cryptology. And with the help of Allah, we will start to spread this info, these miracles to the whole world. Today we are starting with how reduced Planck constant is indicated in the Quran with very precise value. Before starting to our video, brothers, I would like to give some info about Planck constant. What is it for? What is the effect of Planck constant in quantum physics? And then we are going to indicate how Quran directly indicated to Planck constant, to especially reduced Planck constant with very precise value, and then you yourself will witness this miracle and you will get shock, inshallah. To begin with, Planck constant is attributed to the scientist called Max Planck, and because of his surname, this constant is also named as Planck constant. The perfect thing about this constant is that it almost appears in all equations of quantum physics. Anyone who studies quantum physics will directly notice that this is one of the most fundamental constants inside quantum physics. Just to give some info about Planck constant and reduced Planck constant, at which equations it appears in quantum physics. For instance, a very famous equation that is called Schrödinger equation. Here Planck constant and reduced Planck constant appears. Heisenberg uncertainty principle. This is also a very famous equation in quantum physics, and reduced Planck constant also appears here. For instance, there are commutation relations in quantum physics, and there also Planck constant, or let's say reduced Planck constant, appears. For instance, de Broglie wavelength. In this equation also we see reduced Planck constant. For instance, while doing the quantization of fermion and bosons, we also see reduced Planck constant. Another equation is that path integral formulation. In this equation also we see reduced Planck constant. Dirac equation, this is also one of the most famous equations in quantum physics. For instance, in black body radiation and Planck law, we also see reduced Planck constant, except this fine structure constant. This is also very famous, one of the most fundamental constants in the universe. Fine structure constant, there also we see reduced Planck constant. Also in Bohr model of atom, we also see Planck constant. Quantum field theory, Casimir effect, Klein-Gordon equation, and Josephson effect in superconductivity, and the list goes on. There are tons of equations that all include reduced Planck constant. So why I counted all these equations is that I just wanted people to understand that this is a very, very significant constant in especially quantum physics. So to indicate such a perfect constant before 14 centuries will be very shocking, amazing, and miraculous, right? So that's exactly what Quran does to us. Before going to explain how reduced Planck constant is indicated inside Quran, friends, I would like to explain a little bit about the methodology that we apply while deriving information from Quran. As many of you know, Quran has 114 chapters, and between these chapters, 29 of them are starting with disjointed letters. What does disjointed letter means is that, for instance, in English, imagine we have a text and some parts of the text start with some disjointed letter that no one knows the meaning. For instance, let's say it begins with ACG, or let's say some parts begin with ZQW, or some parts begin with AQL. So if you see a text that some part of it is starting with such disjointed letters, what would you think in first glance? Absolutely, because we are in digital century, many of us will think some cryptology that might exist in such a book. So because Quran started in some chapters with such letters like Alif Lam Mim, Taha, Yasin, Hamim, etc., we directly notice that there might be some cryptological codings in Quran, and that's what exactly we experience and we detected from Quran. Not with one finding, but tons of findings. And bi'idhnillah, with the help of Allah, we will present all of them, and we will prove to the whole world that Quran is not human-made, but rather Quran is sent by Allah, and Quran is completely protected. The perfect fact is that, for instance, the special names are pronounced same in all language because it is a special name, especially human names. For instance, Planck. Planck is name of the constant, right? If you search the name Planck, you will see the same name in all the language. Why? Because Planck is a name like Muhammad or like Ali, etc. Because the names are universal, that are pronounced same in all language, when we find the sequence of a special name and matching this with a very perfect precise number, we can call this a miracle, because Quran is sent down before 14 centuries. So before 14 centuries, no one knew about what is Planck constant, what is energy, what is the frequency of photon, etc. As you know, the definition of Planck constant is that energy of a photon divided by frequency of the photon gives us Planck constant. And reduced Planck constant is reduced form of this constant, which is Planck constant over 2 pi. This is called h bar, which means reduced Planck constant. Until now, we have discovered Planck constant, Planck mass, and Planck momentum from Quran, because we saw that the sequence of Planck is repeated 3 times in the Quran, and in all these 3 positions we found a very perfect miraculous information. One of them is reduced Planck constant with very precise number, the other is Planck mass, and the other is Planck momentum. So all these 3 things are indicated in Quran, and the relation of them with black body radiation, that is the root of the derivation of Planck constant, is also indicated in Quran. But for this video, we will only explain how reduced Planck constant is indicated in Quran, because if we explain all of them, it might take a bit long in one video. So we plan to make some series, okay? The value for reduced Planck constant can be written with 2 ways. The first way is joule second unit. The second method is electrovolt second. So when we made a generalization, we noticed that all the particles' masses are indicated in Quran with unit of electrovolt, especially mega electronvolts. So because this is a generalization, in this analysis also we will use electrovolt second as a unit of measurement. So when we check the value of reduced Planck constant with electrovolt second unit, we see that it is 6.582 multiplied by 10 over minus 16. We can also write this equation with power of minus 19, then we will get 6,582 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 19 electrovolt second. So keep the number in mind, 6,582 as reduced Planck constant coefficient. Okay. Now when we search sequence of letters inside Quran, as a method we accept both from right to left direction or from left to right direction. Both methods are accepted for us, and we have discovered many miracles with both methods. When we search the sequence of Planck from right to left direction, we see that it only repeated only once in the whole Quran. The position where this sequence is appearing is chapter Al-Baqarah, verse number 91. The verse is as follows: وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ آمِنُوا بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ قَالُوا نُؤْمِنُ بِمَا أُنزِلَ عَلَيْنَا وَيَكْفُرُونَ بِمَا وَرَاءَهُ وَهُوَ الْحَقُّ مُصَدِّقًا لِمَا مَعَهُمْ قُلْ فَلِمَ تَقْتُلُونَ أَنْبِيَاءَ اللَّهِ مِنْ قَبْلُ إِنْ كُنْتُمْ مُؤْمِنِينَ. Here, friend, the sequence of Planck is appearing in this position, min qablu in kuntum. Here we see Planck, the constant of the sequence of Planck is appearing inside these three words in sequential form. The perfect fact here is that, brothers, from beginning of chapter until to letter N of Planck, in this sequence, in this verse, there are exactly 6,582 letters, which is exactly equal to 6,582 multiplied by 10 to the minus 19 electrovolt second, which is the coefficient of reduced Planck constant. So, Quran is revealed before 14 centuries, and in one position the sequence of Planck is repeating in sequential form, and there we see that from the beginning of chapter to letter of N inside Planck constant, Planck sequence, the number of letters from beginning of chapter to letter N of Planck is exactly 6,582, and this is the exact coefficient that defines reduced Planck constant. Do you see, friends, how superior is miracles of Quran? Can such a thing be designed by a human? Absolutely cannot. Because when Quran is revealed, people had no idea about what is the atom, what is the element, what is the quantum physics, what are the particles that makes up the universe, etc. So all these things are discovered before, all these facts are discovered after like 12 centuries, 13 centuries from the revelation of Quran. So this shows that Quran is absolutely from the all-knowing, almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. By the way, as a methodology, I forgot to explain some details. Let me explain them also. When we want to find the value, our concept is like this. There are some reference points. When we detect a sequence, we count letters or words or verse or chapters from the detected sequence to those reference points. What are those reference points? They are the beginning of Quran, the end of Quran. The beginning of chapters, the end of chapters. The beginning of verses, the end of verses. So all these points are reference points, and when we detect a sequence, we just count from those reference points to those sequences. The way that we count is, it might be both, it might be either with letter or words or verse or chapter numbers. So all these things are accepted. This is the main methodology that we use in almost all our analysis. So for the ones who don't know our methodology, I just wanted to make explanation so that in the next videos they will be understanding all the miracles easily.